Hello there, everyone. My name is Crazy Caleb, and welcome to Angel Hernandez. This is the way the module looks. It looks similar to Who's on First, however, except everything is going to be blank on the module. The displays will be blank, as well as the main letter, of course. Now, the way how you actually do this one is actually going to be very similar to Who's on First, except it's going to have to do with Braille, as you can see by the letters highlighting over it. And if we take a look at the tilting, as you can see, some of the buttons here have been raised or lowered. And in this case, what this gives us is the main letter that would normally be displayed on the display. This is essentially section A. So for those of you who are familiar with how Who's on First works, what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and find the specific section. Normally we would have a display up in the top that would represent a position. In this case, for example, if it was Bravo, we would look in the bottom left, and then the bottom left will give us a specific phrase or letter. And in this case, we're then going to use this list and find the first one that appears. Now we're going to be doing the exact same thing, except it's going to have to do all with Braille. And the way that we have to get the main display is different, as you can see. We want to take a look and see which ones are the raised dots and raised positions, and that's going to represent our Braille. So for this one, if we take a look here, we've got 1, 2, and the way that Braille order works is it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's kind of the way that it normally is. So in this case, 1, 2, 4, and 6 are currently raised. So this represents golf right here. So now, this would normally represent the main display. So this is for section A. We're going to be taking a look at the golf table, which represents the middle right. Now, for the middle right, what we want to do is we want to take a look at what the middle right actually is. And in this case, that's going to be a 2, 3, and 4. Now, 2, 3, 4 represents Sierra. Now, this represents the list that we're going to look at here, so Sierra. Now, nicely enough, Sierra happens to be our first letter in this position. We happen to have Sierra on one of these 6 buttons. Therefore, we're going to be pressing this position first. That's good to go. And we're going to do this for 3 different stages. So, let's continue. So we have a 1, 2, 4 for the display here. So 1, 2, 4 is a foxtrot. Foxtrot wants us to look in the middle right once again. This is a 1, 2, 3, 6. Sort of looks like a Lima. But it is instead a... Where is it? I feel like I'm blind. A Victor. Excuse me. So now we're going to take a look at the Victor list, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go from left to right and find the first one that appears on one of these buttons here. Now this does take a little bit of time because of the fact that it is Braille. It's not necessarily just going to be letters, so you kind of have to do some encryption work with it. So do we have Echo, which is represented by a 1, 5? And we have that present on any of the buttons? We actually do, actually. So that's perfect. We press the bottom left, and we move on to the next stage. Rinse and repeat. So this is a 1, 4, 5 right here. So this was going to be representing a delta. Delta wants us to look at the top left. Top left is 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5 is a Oscar. And Oscar wants us to take a look for Charlie first. Charlie is 1, 4, the 2 at the top. We do not have that. Sierra is a 2, 3, 4. Do we have that on any of these buttons? We do not. Next up is Hotel. Now, obviously, what you can do is you can potentially just decrypt all of these here, but sometimes it's better just to do this interactively. It is a little bit quicker, but depending on whether you're voice expert or just EFMing, it's up to you, really. There's absolutely a lot of freedom that you can have with this. So next up is Hotel. Hotel. Do we have this guy? From what it looks like, no, we do not. Juliet. I believe we actually did. Yes, I want to say that we did. Yes, right here. Juliet matches the one in the bottom right. It is the first one that appears on this list. So therefore, we can hit bottom right. And just like that is a solved module. So that's all there really is to it. I'm going to go over one more example just for the sake of consistency and whatnot. But it's a fairly simple module. It just is Who's on First, but it places Braille into the module, which I think is a very cool and simple concept. So let's take a look at one final example. Just remember that essentially what's going to happen is that the Braille for the display is represented by the raised and lowered buttons. That's going to be what we're looking at here. So one final example. Let's get into it. Okay.
Only one perfect solution, but there are clues that will try
All right, we've got a 1-3-5. I believe we've had this one before. It's a 1-3-5. It's an Oscar. Okay, Oscar wants to look at the bottom right. The bottom right is a 1-2. This should be a Bravo, actually. Yes, it is. The Bravo. First in the list is going to be Foxtrot. Do we have a 1-2-5? Or 1-2-4, excuse me. 1-2-4. We do not, in this case. Next up is Romeo. Romeo is right over here. We do not have that. We have the opposite of that one. Next up, we have Papa. Papa is right here. Do we have that anywhere? No, doesn't appear to be that way. Oscar. We actually do not have that. That was the main display, not any of these buttons. Mike. Mike. Nope. X-ray. X-ray. Nope. I don't think so. Yeah, no. Next. Yankee. Yankee. This is indeed Yankee. So we can hit this guy, and that's good to go. Let's take a look. Oh, it's the exact same case. Oscar, in this case, is what we had here. Yep. It's bottom right. Bottom right is what now? It's 1-2. It's 1-4, excuse me. This is a Charlie. So we're going to be taking a look at this list. Yankee to start us off. Yankee, where are you at? Nope, none of that there. Next up is Oscar. This is not one of the buttons that we had. This was the original state. So next, Zulu. I did not see that anywhere on buttons. Foxtrot. Doesn't look like it. Nope. Echo. Echo is right here. I don't see that. Nope. Victor. Do we have you? Oh, we do, yes. So Victor is going to be the one for this stage. Perfect. And finally, we have a 2-4-5 right here. This is a Juliet. And Juliet is going to be over on the middle left. The middle left is a 2-3-4-5, which is a tango. So tango is going to be the list that we're looking at here. Tango right here. And let's see. Delta. We have Delta here. So that's 1-4-5. We do, actually. Perfect. And just like that is a solved module. A fairly simple one to do, and not too hard to understand. If you have the knowledge of who's on first, you have the knowledge of this module. So, as always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.